My pricing is in the middle of the pack. I don't try to do anything other than make a good living for all the guys that work for me and make something for myself. And I live in moderation, actually, in terms of my income and what I do. What I would tell you is that I bid against a lot of people, and I'm usually really close to what others do, but sometimes I'm a little higher. But one of the things that people make the decision on is they say, wow, they look at my estimate and they go, wow, he estimated every single stick, every single square footage. He knows everything there is to know about my project, and he's thought about it, thought it through. And he's provided me a great design, and he's obviously very technically competent.
One of the things that I love with Porter, I've worked on a few projects with him. I have yet to see a change order. He knows his work so fully that initial bid that you get is what it's going to be, unless if you want to add something during the project, which happens, and if you're comfortable with that, we'll accommodate any needs. But Porter bids very accurately, and so there's very little need during the actual project itself to add any additional work or anything like that, because he's included what it's going to take to get you to the goal that we've agreed upon. And so that's one thing, and then also the quality of craftsmen. It costs a little more to keep good guys around, and that's something that Probuild's not willing to compromise on, and I appreciate that. But you do pay a little more for it, and so that also ultimately comes down to what do you value.
It's like if they hire me or my team, they know that they're going to get a good product, right? And that's what they really ultimately care about. 5 years from now, when they are using my product, they're going to say, wow, this is still a good value. And if they want to go with the really cheap guy that works out of the back of his pickup truck, and he's been doing it for a year and a half, and he's got a one-page summary of what he's going to do, they're welcome to do that.
So when people ask me about why are we more expensive, or I've got a lower bid, what I usually tell them is that's wonderful. Check out your contractor really closely, because if they can afford to do it that cheaply, they may not be able to afford to finish it, and they may not be able to afford to do it correctly. So bottom line, everybody knows this, you get what you pay for.
You want the job done right and be happy with it in the end, Probuild is the one to go with.
It's a good idea to call somebody who's had similar work done and see what their experience was.
If they still have any kind of uncertainty or they want to check it out, we encourage them to talk to our past clients, because that's really our best sales tool. We've got hundreds, literally hundreds of them.
But I can tell you, I've had people in one project once, I was $20,000 more than the next bidder down, right? There was one guy about 10 grand more than me. But he hired me because he paid the $20,000 differential, right, for me to do the work, because he had confidence that I was going to get it done right, and it was going to be exactly what he needed, and I was going to take care of him. And you know what? That's the way it turned out. He was delighted. He never had any regrets. And I don't think anybody's going to have any regrets if they choose our team.
We absolutely can give you peace of mind, because you just don't need to worry about it if we're doing the job, because we do know what we're doing.
Porter A bids accurately and maintains a high quality of standard.
They're going to get a great product. They're going to get good service. They're going to get people who care about them. They're going to get people that communicate with them and really try their best to take care of them. So that sums it up for me.